Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Keeping Up with Keith interview series. We have a great guest. Producer extraordinaire Catherine Virgen is here. She's on talk to us. So, good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Good morning, Keith. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited about this conversation. I'm so excited to get to know you more because, I think we only crossed paths maybe a few times when you came to LA to help us out at the wildfires at NBC for Los Angeles. So I'm talking to you because I love the content that you're doing, and you're a producer at NBC Bay Area, and you're also posting content while producing. So let's just start with that. So how'd you get into that?
So I have my dream job. I'm very lucky. And whenever I get the chance to share that story, I do. I can't even tell you how much I wanted to work in news, but how much I wanted to work at this station in particular. It was a full circle moment when I finally got the job offer, as I was almost going to veer away and go get my master's. And so when I finally got this job, I knew this is what I was supposed to do. And it just brings me so much joy. And I love sharing that with my friends and my family. And they also are very just so inquisitive about what I do. They don't really understand the mechanics because there's so many moving parts. What I share is not really even the whole picture, it's what I want you to see. But if I would encompass my whole day, it would just be nonstop task, 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 task. And those tasks change as your role in the newscast change. And I recently got promoted, and I'm very grateful
Congratulations.
for that. So another role change for myself. And it's just a never ending shift of responsibilities depending on the day. And I just think it's very interesting because a lot of people don't realize that the huge responsibility it is to be a journalist and to give local news to people that watch, because thousands of people watch, and it's a little daunting sometimes. And I try not to focus on that, but I do try to just give my best and then also let whoever wants to watch behind the scenes.
Okay, awesome. So what did you get promoted to? So where were you
So I
before and
used
what are
to
you
do,
now?
so I used to do the 5 a.m. newscast, the 5 a.m. and our 8 a.m. And together it's an hour and a half. And basically, the role of a producer of a 5 a.m. is you're the first person in there at midnight, and you kind of get the feeling of what is going to take off today. How is like new now next, right? We don't want to focus on the old news. We want to focus on what people need to know as they're heading out the door. And that was the main role of the 5 a.m. producer. And then they were also in charge of the 8 a.m. The 8 a.m. is our fast show. And there we have, it's a lot of moving parts, but it is fun and it is really quickly. It is about maybe 25 minutes long with breaks. So, and the turnover is really quick. But that's all you do. You set the shows. But the 6 a.m. producer needs to come in and kind of make editorial choices for our EP. So by the time you come and present, your reporter pitches, what the slug is going to be, the elements that the reporters are going to have, that's my job now. And I need to provide that for each reporter we have. We have 3 reporters in the morning. And now am just in charge of delegating what news story goes to what reporter and why, right? The main reason that my EP or whoever's filling in is like, they will ask me, what is the public going to gain from this, right? We're not just going to regurgitate a story from last night. Let's move forward. And ultimately, it's a lot of responsibility, especially because you don't want to send your reporter on something that's a dud. And then obviously there's days where there's very heavy news, and that's also not easy on your heart.
Yeah.
So it's just a shift of responsibility, really. And when I come in, I also talk to the 5 a.m. producer. We have a conversation, and we just kind of have to have a newscast ready by the time my EP gets there. And this is all right. Like, we have like tight deadlines that we need to meet, because if not, then we'll end up falling behind. Because by the time the reporters come in, their notes need to be sent out. They need to know where they're going, who they're paired up with, where they need to be ready for their live shot. And it's just, it's a moving bus, and it's a bit chaotic at times, but we make it work. So yes, we all come in at different times. So the earliest news producer comes in at 11:30. I
Mhm.
come in at 12:30. The EP calls in at 2:30. We need to have a plan by then. They come in at 3:30, and then our reporters start coming in then.
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit different. Yeah, because when I was producing morning newscasts, usually all of us came in usually around 11 or 11:30. And then we started splitting, dividing the work for the shows. I think COVID changed part of it because I think post COVID we worked in one rundown, and
Yeah,
then
because it was easier, right? It was
yes,
easier.
and plus it was like from home, so it helped cut down on
Yeah,
mistakes if you're doing
right.
something far away. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. So okay, so once you get this. For a person, you're a producer, how do you describe your work to strangers, and what's the biggest misconception about producing?
How I would describe it. Always say, although I think I'm gonna change this, but I always say I'm a morning news producer. However, I feel because of just the shift in climate, I need to become more comfortable saying I'm a journalist because at my core, that is what I'm doing, right? I am creating a newscast. Well, I am still a news producer. I feel like my work and my team's work is so just essential to the public. We're journalists. So I'm going to change that bit. But I do say I'm a morning news producer. And then I mentioned I'm a journalist at NBC Bay Area. And they asked me, well, what does that mean? Right? Nobody knows what that means. And so I explained to them, I was like, I choose the stories. I make sure the stories and the video and the sound line up with my vision and what I think is important. And we create a show. We create a show for you. And the one thing about the morning show that I've always loved to my core is that we always make time for fun,
Yes.
right? There are always these lighthearted moments and these funny stories that we get to put in or we send a reporter on. You don't really see that at night so much. It's a little bit more doom and gloom,
Mm-hmm.
which is acceptable because everybody's off of work. It's a different audience, right? In
Yes.
the morning, their parents watching, kids maybe also listening in. And those are just things that we're mindful of. And so we insert fun into the show. And I really, really enjoy that part of my job. I think it's what really just gravitates me towards the energy of my anchors and everybody that I work with. Keith, I'm not even lying to you. They're so nice. I absolutely love the crew that I work with, the reporters, the anchors, the meteorologists, the traffic anchor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're all incredible, incredible people. And I'm just so honored to be there. Moving on to your next question. I feel
Yes.
like the biggest misconception is people believe that we focus on national news, which we
Mm-hmm.
do. Obviously, it's a big
Yeah.
story, right? There's always something coming down nationally, and we absolutely include that in our newscast. But I think at the core of each local newscast, because we have a network station, we go to network, they manage that great. But for us local stations, we're letting you know what your neighbor's doing. We're letting you know what your neighbor's going through. We let you know the crime that's happening maybe 2 blocks down, in the next city over. We let you know about a festival that you may or may not want to go to. And it's just this news aspect that people forget. For example, the wildfires, right?
Yes.
People were getting up to date, up to the minute updates about unfortunately, what homes were being affected, what homes were being burned, when homes were like going up in flames as we were on air, right? Who else is going to bring you that? Network isn't going to. Like, your local news channel is going to go wall to wall, no breaks, and let you know what's happening. And I feel like there's so much pride in that, and there's a lot of misconception in that. And it's only in those moments where, unfortunately, the fires, that people are reminded of how vital it is to tune in to your local news, because it could be a matter of life and death sometimes in the case of the fires.
No, absolutely. And especially they relied on us during COVID. So absolutely.
Right?
And you do.
You knew where you could go get a vaccine, you knew where you can go get tested for free. These pop-up tents, right? There are these moments of just essential news that I feel people forget. And you need to know that, as someone who's just living in any community
Mm-hmm.
should be aware of what's going on around you. And that goes beyond just national news, right?
Yes.
It's I think it's vital.
No, absolutely. And especially during the holidays, we're talking about food banks, food drives.
Absolutely.
People are struggling. I mean, even stations themselves are putting on toys and food drives as well to
Where
help
you
out
can
the
go pick up
community.
your free groceries, your free turkey, and people want to know those things. And
Yes.
we are fortunate enough to be able to provide them with that information.
Yes. And you know what? You do work at a special place. It holds a special place in my heart, NBC Bay Area, because that's where I did my first journalism internship back when I was at undergrad at San Jose State. So the people that I used to are still there in the morning. Laura, Mikey, John
They're
G. Kelly.
great. They're great.
Yes. So like literally, I also want to touch on another point because you brought up a point that I recently reconciled with. Being a producer and a journalist. They're not you can be both. You're both.
Yes.
And I think producers sometimes, I think we sometimes don't represent ourselves as journalists because we're not on camera reporting.
That's another thing too. So they'll be like, oh, so like you're on TV. And I'm like, no, I'm not on TV.
Yes, yes, exactly. And I think as we're journalists. We are doing this. We're doing a different type of journalism. We're still researching, putting together the facts.
The
Yes,
amount of press releases and just news reels that I go through just to get like the story right, we absolutely have to dig, right? We have to dig.
yes, we have to dig, and also we can report stories on our own to create more additional content for our newscasts. I mean, I remember when I was at NBC San Diego. I mean, I love Days of Our Lives. I'm a huge soap opera fan, and it was on air on NBC at the time, and now it's on Peacock. But I was just scrolling one day on my Instagram, and I saw that one of the actresses was from San Diego. And I thought, oh, why not reach out to her and do like a little feature? I'm a morning show producer. This is great for the morning show. Reached out and we got in contact and I wrote a package for our anchor to track. And yeah, my anchor did it and then we did a web story. And so that's an example of doing journalism.
Right. You gathered the sound, you gathered the story, you created it, and you gave it away. Right.
Yes.
But that's exactly what we do. That is what we do, right? And it's like, sometimes you do it because you want to, right? You like, this is
Yes.
something specific. And others, it's just like, it's handed down to you because, like, hey, we don't have anybody else to pick this up. Can you please do this interview? It's via Zoom and you record it. You flip it around, you do a voice on, or you give to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? We
Yes.
do that all the time.
Yes, exactly. And I think we need to encourage more of that because I know sometimes as producers, sometimes we get caught up with our day job and we don't have time to enterprise stories ourselves sometimes. And I think we just need to encourage people, this their interest to do stuff because that could lead down to another opportunity down the line
Right.
and maybe show to your managers that you're taking effort to enterprise these stories on your own time because you love the topic itself.
Right.
And I just want to create additional content for my newscast that other stations may not have.
No, we do that a lot, thankfully. I'm sure you remember a lot
Yes.
of people pitch us their stories. Some of them are a little bit more commercial than others, but that there's some that are just really nice and they're interesting, whether it's tech or it's a community event. And we conduct those, either one of the producers or we hand it off to a reporter and they do it and it works. It's a
Yes.
different type of journalism. Yeah.
And also, I want to talk about your career jumping into NBC Bay Area because I know you started as an associate producer at KSBW in Salinas. And
So, yeah, so actually my very first TV job was in Humboldt County.
okay.
Yes, I was a video journalist, but
Hmm.
I was doing prompter and audio. So I was also on the tech side. So I was a little bit of both. And because it's such a small station, they let you dabble.
Hmm.
You want to do it? Sure, we'll grab it. But my job was a technician. I was on prompter and then I was on audio depending on the day. But then they would go and let me gather sound of an event of OSOT, and then I'd come write it and it'd be in the newscast. But that was like market, I think like 300.
What?
It was
Well, that
not
doesn't,
the
I
great.
believe, does 300 even exist?
It was way down there.
Okay.
It was like not, it was way, way down there. So, following that, I came back to the Bay Area because, as one does, right?
Yeah.
You want to work and where you live, and
Yes,
this is where I
exactly.
wanted to live. And I ended up getting a job at my local C-SPAN station,
Oh, okay.
and so I worked there, also technician. And then from there, I saw an opening as an associate producer at KSBW, and I
Okay.
applied and I got it. And let me tell you something. Being an associate producer is not for the faint of heart, okay? It was a lot of work for absolutely no money, but it got me the experience that I absolutely needed,
Hmm.
right? I needed that job. Like I needed to start there in order to be where I am now. I absolutely needed that. And it is work that kind of goes unnoticed, but it is something that made me build my character, right? And my
Yes.
talent. But I really enjoyed working at KSVW. The team there is so nice. And the coworkers that I have there are still my friends to this day.
Love that.
And I think it's because we were all in the trenches. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's also a lower, kind of like a lower market job.
Yes.
But it was just such a pivotal stepping stone in my career. And I always look back at it so fondly. And again, I have so many friends that still work there and that have also moved on. So it's nice.
Okay, okay. And then you went to Cron, and then you got to NBC Bay Area.
Correct.
From there, okay, okay. So, and because I'm always, sometimes I'm part of this producer Facebook group. You're probably part of it too, the same producer Facebook group. But everyone always asks, what are people looking for in producers? I want to go to a top market just like you in San Francisco. What do I need to do to get there?
Honestly, I think you just kind of need to put in your time, right? I so often, a lot of time, people do get lucky and they kind of just intern somewhere and then they end up getting a job there,
Mm-hmm.
right? That does happen. It does happen. It didn't happen for me, unfortunately.
Yes.
I did have to go through, different various stations to get where
Mm-hmm.
I'm at. But if you seize the opportunity of where you are, it's what can happen is honestly up to you at that point. And then you go in as an intern, you see a job opening after it ends, you go for it. Why wouldn't you? You
Yes.
would either get it or you're in the same position that you are right now, looking for a job, right? And I just think you need to seize the moment. Wherever you are, you just really need to show up and show out because this is a job that requires a lot of just like on your own multitasking and making decisions. You can't like, oh, I need to wait. No, like there's no waiting, especially in the morning newscast.
Yes.
In a later newscast, I've never worked night side, day side, never in my life as a producer. So I don't know how much leeway they have like time wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because stories are happening in real time,
Yes.
right? News pressers, things like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how the timeline honestly works. But I know in the morning that I can't fall behind. If I don't meet these deadlines, then we won't have a show.
Yes, exactly.
So I just think it just depends on where you are in your career and whether it's at market 200 or market 10. You absolutely need to show up and just do your best every single day because they're watching. Your bosses are watching, even though you think they're not.
Yes.
They're watching. And the work that you put out ultimately is going to speak volumes for you. And you don't even have to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just a matter of how much do you want it and how much work you're willing to put in for it. Because I wanted this really, really badly.
Yes.
I wanted to work here really, really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And it took so much out of me. But I made it.
No, yes, you did. Absolutely, absolutely. And also, it's good also to reach out to people who are already working there.
Absolutely.
Yes, I always tell the interns, just send the email, just an email and see. Maybe you get ghosted. Other times you may
It's a
not.
little intimidating. I'm not going to lie. It is
Yes.
a little intimidating because even me, I've applied to NBC LA
Mm-hmm.
and it's always intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
It's always intimidating. My time isn't there yet. It's not there yet. But sending that email because
Mm-hmm.
you know them
Yeah.
is so intimidating. And me, who's like working for their sister station, right? Like,
Yes.
and I know them. I find it so like, I get so anxious about it. Like, I don't want to bother them. Like, what if they're busy? But just send it.
Yes.
Trust me, just send the email. I absolutely agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Send it. And also, network. I always encourage people go to conventions, your NABJs, your NAHAs, your AAJA.
Actually, never been.
Oh, you need to go.
I want to go so bad. I want to go so, so, so bad.
It has actually that's how I got my first job in news. And
Really?
yes, yes, I just went to the Scripps booth at the time, because I wanted, I saw they had an opening in Bakersfield, and I didn't want to go to like Casper, Wyoming, like some of my other friends did.
You know what? You know what? I know a lot of like a handful of my friends that have gone out of state to
Mm-hmm.
pursue a producer career.
Yeah.
And I thank all my lucky stars, all my angels that I did not have to do that because
Me too.
I cannot imagine have moved out of state, out of California. I can't even imagine that.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I just went to them, told, hey, I think I'm a good candidate. I live 2 hours away from Bakersfield. Hire me. I have an uncle that lives there, so it's like I could be there immediately. And yeah, so I got the job about, yeah, 2 weeks later.
See, sometimes it's just you going out.
Yes.
And I always think about it this way. You go for whatever you want, you go
Mm-hmm.
for it. And if they say no, you're in the same position you were before. But if they
Yes.
say yes, it could be a game changer for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the internship as well, because the connections I made at NBC Bay Area led me to having I guess, my board of directors, per se, people I can go to in this challenging industry. And that's how I got to NBC LA, because I was working in LA at a different station at Spectrum News. And unfortunately, they laid off my department. And I just
Oh my
called,
gosh.
yes, yeah, that was like I don't know where. But luckily I tapped into my connections. And I got a shortcut. That's what I'm trying to say. I got a shortcut because of my connection. Because usually there the
It takes
interviews forever.
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 I swear to you, I thought I didn't get this job. The job that I have now,
Yes.
I didn't get this because you would have an interview, you wouldn't hear back for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, and I was already resigned. I was like, I guess I didn't get it. And then you
Yeah.
get an email, hey, your next interview is here, and I was like, oh, I'm still in the game. Okay.
Yes.
Another 2 weeks would go by. Didn't hear anything. I was like, okay, I really don't think I probably got it this time. Another interview, like, hey, we actually need you to take this test. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm still in the game. And
Yes.
it's just like, from the time that I applied to the time that I started, my brother got a house.
Yeah.
He was house shopping. We moved.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a whole thing. It was like a month and a half,
Yes.
it felt like. And so, like, I was always getting a little discouraged, but then, it would pop up and be like, okay, no, it's still happening. It's just a matter of like being patient and just believing in yourself at that point, right? And you're just
Yes.
like, because whenever you get out of an interview, you're like, oh my
Yes.
God, did I do well? Like, did I talk too much? Or,
Y-
did I answer that correctly? And you feel like you did.
hmm
And then to not hear back is always a little devastating.
Yes, but when I got to NBCLA, I did a literally, it was a week. I had an interview. I was hired probably the end of the week. But it was a
See?
it was a freelance opportunity because they have
What's for you
freelance.
is for you. And I'm
Yes.
so, so adamant about that. Like, if it's going to be for you, it's going to happen. If not, then just let it go.
Yes, yes. So I was very happy about it. I got to work at my hometown station growing up, so
I
it
love
was
that. I love
great.
that for you.
So, oh, thank you, thank you. So now I want to turn the conversation to so you're producing, but also you're putting content out about your AM news, your life, and so how do you do that? How do you balance that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I always tell people this. They probably think it's like me lying, but I am genuinely a happy person. I am. And I don't know where that well of energy is sometimes, but it just comes out of me. And I'm so thankful for it. I just wake up and I honestly am like, okay, well, let's get going. I sleep during the day and I do try to like average like 5 or 6 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
My body's just used to it at this point.
Yeah.
I've been doing this shift for almost 8, 9 years, right? So my body is so in tune with my sleeping schedule. And I think that's probably what helps me too. I always prioritize me first. I don't have any pets,
Mm-hmm.
fortunately, but it's just like these small things that I'm always able to say yes to myself first. And I think that brings me a lot of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything externally that's just so bearing of other external responsibilities other than myself. And I'm very happy about that. I love just my situation. Where I am in life right now,
Yes.
I'm very happy with it. And I think that ultimately plays a lot with me wanting to share more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share what I do because I love my job. And who knows, like maybe somebody who's watching is like, hey, that seems cool. I may want to do that. And I get a lot of questions. I get so many questions, so many DMs, like when I post something on my story or
Mm-hmm.
when I do a live. People are like, wait, how does this work? Wait, what are you doing there? Or
Mm-hmm.
like, what time do you wake up? And it's just a whole conversation starter, right?
Yes.
Well, a lot of times when I tell people, oh, I work overnight, a lot of times they assume that I'm like a nurse, like an overnight nurse. I get that all the time. I'm like,
Really?
yes, I'm not even lying to you. That's like the one thing I always get. Oh, like, oh, you're a nurse. And I was like, Nope, I'm a news producer.
I mean, you're a show doctor.
I'm a show doctor. But that's like one of the main things. I just want to share my joy. As lame as that sounds, I'm just very overly happy to be where I'm at, and I'm happy to share it.
No, that's great because I feel sometimes, especially as a producer, I feel our career is a little bit more gatekept more than
It
the
is.
reporter.
I feel like it is. People don't know it enough because, yes, it could be so incredibly stressful. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
Like just the other day, we had an earthquake. It was a 4.0, right? But it was like a series of several earthquakes. It was like a main one, an aftershock, and then smaller ones.
Hmm.
When I tell you that we went wall to it would happen during my show.
Yes.
So we got news of it like at 6:20. We did weather traffic. We took a break. When we came back from that break, we stayed on for the remainder of the 40 minutes. No breaks. It's just the anchors. We talked to USGS. We got them on a phone for a phoner. We got the fire department on a phone for a phoner. We got people who were like who felt the quake for phoners. So it's just the anchors, and then we would toss to weather, who would break down what fault it was on, what you should do. And that went on for 40 minutes, right? And you just don't even see the time passing. And it's just a constant nonstop of just information, information, information. And then you have to be so clear about what you choose to say to the anchors because they're live, right? I can't tell them whole sentences.
Hmm.
So, it's just a matter of how you execute that show. And I feel like so much, I don't know how to explain that sometimes to people because if you don't work in news, then you don't get it. So
Yes.
it's just, I wish I was able to share that side more with viewers, but it's just such an in the moment thing that
Hmm.
either or you just don't. So when I come home and my brother asks me or my mom asks me, like, oh, how was your work? I was like, it was fine. But it's how am I going to explain this like amount of pressure that I just went through to somebody who wouldn't understand? Does that
Yes.
make sense?
No, exactly.
And I feel like that's the gatekeep of it, right? That's
Hmm.
like a chunk like that is just so hard to share because if you don't, if you've never experienced it, it's really hard to gauge.
Yes, exactly. Because, like, as some, even news is usually straightforward, but sometimes it can get very chaotic. It could get messy, and I think that's what we're, because let's say, Mandy did not want to read the script on air, or, she's complaining in the booth, give me more script talk. Or I'm just, making up scenarios that we may encounter. Or, we got break, you need to make sure you get this in. Or, man, Ted went over for weather. What am I gonna have to kill this story now?
It's a bit of everything, right? And
Yes.
then also it just comes down back to the producer, right? Are you
Yes.
communicating these things with them?
Yes.
Because you need to be constantly talking, and it's not like again full sentences.
Yes.
It's like rap 30,
Mm-hmm.
15 hard rap. Like you need to
Yes.
keep the show going. It's not like please stop talking. No, you don't say like I'm getting heavy, please stop. No, it's like you need to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, like I have these cues where they know, like if I tell you hard rap, it's a hard rap. Like it's just things like that where it's just you need to have a lingo with your talent.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have the relationship and also be calm under pressure. I think that's been like my secret power because all my anchors say I sound like a flight attendant or a pilot.
And again, it all comes down to choosing exactly what you want to say, right? For instance, when we were having that breaker and whoever wasn't talking was the person that would hear the information that I'm giving to, right? If
Yes.
anchor A was talking, I would tell anchor B, next phoner is with the chief of police, Fred Warner,
Yes.
right? And then he would, and then I would tell him, Fred is ready. He would take the next opportunity to talk and be like, joining us on the phone is Chief of Police Fred Warner. And
Mm-hmm.
Anchor A would then ingest that information and then chime in when it's her time. It's like vice versa, right? You need to really be paying attention to your newscast and who is available. And so, like, then I would tell Anchor A, after this interview, please toss to whether Carrie will talk about the fault.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like very much it's an open communication, and it all like honestly a lot of it just ends up landing on the producer and how good you are at executing that information without giving them too much. It's the
Yes.
necessary. It's
Exactly. And even though you don't document those chaotic moments, I feel like even when you post your Instagram stories and stuff, I still get that insight into you producing because you talk to your director or you're saying, hey, could we switch the camera or make sure this shot is up? So I really like that because I think it just
And that's like
opens the
in the
world.
moment things, right? Again,
Yes.
for that breaker, we're on a phoner. I'm like, hey, take Seismo. Hey, take the USGS map. Or, just things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you need to be, you're like a show, like because the director isn't going to take the shot that they think is best. They're waiting for
Yes.
you to tell them, right? They're waiting for you to direct them and tell them what they want because it's your show. What do you want on air? And
Yes.
so it's just a matter of communicating with everybody.
Yes.
It's an overload, and sometimes you do get overstimulated.
No, no,
There
exactly.
absolutely are times where I'm just like, yo, everybody be quiet for a second. Okay, let's go. Because it's a lot.
Yes, yes. And when I tell my family, as a producer, I choose what you see on television. That's what my job basically is. I choose what you see and how it's executed.
No, and then some people are more particular about it than others, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a matter of how your style is as a producer.
Yes, exactly. It's not one size fits all.
No.
Everyone's different. And I think you don't want everything to be a cookie cutter. Anyway.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's how you differ the newscasts from each other.
absolutely.
So, I want to talk about some quick hot topics that are happening in our industry. And then we're going to get closer to wrapping this up because I know we need to sleep. Being an AM newser, myself in the past. So, Catherine, we have some hot topics happening in our industry. AI is one of them. There's been some rumblings about some news stations are considering using AI in their process, more like research, do more of the assignment editor job. There's also some inklings they may want to experiment with lower risk VOs. That could be, I guess, lower risk could be press release, I guess. Or something that is not as impactful, if that makes sense. If that does make sense.
Yes.
So, what do you think of that?
I'm going to be so honest with you right now. I am so checked out of that world
Mm-hmm.
in general. And my station has never made it a priority or like a mandatory thing to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I know the concept of it, but have I used Chat GPT before? No. Do I even I know it's like it's an engine that would help you in multiple ways, right? But I just don't have any experience with it to understand the benefits or the dangers of it, right? You run
Yes.
stories and you see how it's affecting other people. And does it scare me a bit? A little bit, right? It's this amazing engine that it's already jeopardizing jobs in other industries,
Yes.
right? You see it happening. And I just don't know how that would look like for news stations. I don't know how that would work because I feel the lack of emotion is something
Mm-hmm.
that you can't hide.
Yes.
And that's something so vital in a newscast, right? A reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think they would end up working.
Exactly, exactly. And also, I think AI cannot outcreate a journalist. I mean, I was talking to my friend last week, and that's what she said. AI can't outcreate me.
It's just, is it a tool?
Yes.
Sure, people can use it as a tool,
Mm-hmm.
but I think given whatever your industry or line of work is, everyone should be cautious, right?
Yes. Exactly, exactly. I mean, you are in the hub of Silicon Valley, where that's
I know, and I'm so behind. I'm telling you, I don't even have TikTok. Like I am so anti certain things just because I keep my peace, Keith. I really
yes,
do. I keep my peace. I'm very protective of my peace. And what doesn't serve me doesn't serve me. And so far my life has been great without AI. My life has been great without TikTok. I don't need these outer like I guess activities to just come at me quite
mm-hmm,
yet. I'm not saying it'll be like that forever. But
yes.
for right now, I'm good.
No, I don't, absolutely. Go with your own flow. I mean, I'm still experimenting with TikTok and I got me a separate Instagram because I was worried, oh crap, I don't want people to find out
You
who I
see, yeah,
am.
and you
You know?
see, like, I'm a real person. I love
Yes.
reels.
Yes.
I will watch Instagram reels, and whatever is on TikTok ends up on Instagram anyways.
Yes.
So it's just that it takes a little while. It takes a little while to go down the
Mm-hmm.
social media, but it happens.
Yes, no, absolutely. I think especially after X was bought by that man, people.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm also not a very big fan of. I wasn't a fan of Twitter in general. Like, I followed Well, I had Twitter because I followed all
The
government
PI, yeah,
agencies on
yes.
Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like San Jose Police Department, Petaluma Police
Yeah,
Department, like the mayor of San Francisco, the mayor of Oakland. Like I
yeah,
followed every public official on Twitter. And that's all my Twitter feed is, or was rather, right? Like it was
yes.
just public officials because whenever you wanted an update, it would come down. So I literally only had it strictly for
Mm-hmm.
work purposes.
Yeah.
And now I can't even tell you the last time I opened the X app.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have all of them, but I prefer Instagram and Threads.
Thread girly too. Thank you. I love threads. And I think my algorithm is just really working for me.
Yes, me too. Yes.
I just really enjoy threads. I can't even explain it to you. Like some people don't even have that. And I understand it.
Yes.
But I love threads.
Yes, yes. I mean, I got Blue Sky, but I should delete it because I'm never on it.
I don't even know. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Didn't even bother looking into it.
So,
I'm so
well,
bad. I'm so bad.
no, no, you're good. You are good. Actually, this actually points me to my next point of conversation because another thing that's happening in our industry is this battle between traditional journalism and creator journalism. There's kind of a tension between the two because is it replacing what journalists do, or are we just getting an influencer and teaching them journalistic skills so they
Yeah.
can do our work for us?
Right. Right. I think it's just the way that we're ingesting all of this, right? Everybody's on their phone. I'm on my phone, right?
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yes.
Nobody's watching a TV anymore. I do because I enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
what I
me
do
too.
for work.
Yes.
But nobody's doing that. Like other people our age, I don't think they're watching my newscast. They're not my target audience. And it's a little sad, but then also companies are obviously making a shift,
Yeah.
right? And it's not just companies, it's like you said, also influencers.
Yeah.
They're seeing an opportunity and jumping on it. And good for them. Good for them, but it just does change the landscape of things, right? And it's a matter of what medium you want to use and how
Mm-hmm.
you're going to grasp that attention. Because at this point, it's very much headlines,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like the clickbait or what gets people's attention and not. And it works every time.
Yes, no, it does. It does. I mean, because I've been hearing like 2026, that's gonna be like the boon of independent creator content,
And you know what?
journalism.
It's such a great avenue. Like props to you, right? Like you went working from a station
Hmm.
and now you realize there's this avenue that you can benefit from, right?
Yes,
And it is a scary jump to take and
yes.
people are doing it and they're successful. Why not? Go ahead. I just don't think I have it in me.
Oh, no, I
I'm
under.
not like that. So it's just a matter of like who's going to jump to the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I just jumped on it because I had more time available and more energy. Because
You're like, let
sometimes
me think.
producing could drain my energy sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't have time to do this. But now I have more, since I have more free time in my life, because also I was a caregiver, and I was getting my master's degree, so my time was actually spent between my job, caregiving, and getting my master's. And
Right.
now, since the master's is, I got that in May, and then the
Yeah.
caregiving, I was able to contract that out to a great facility that's helping my mom, so I'm grateful for that. And now, I don't have this high stress job that I love, but now more a different, I pivoted into a different thing that's a little bit
Right.
more less stressful. So I have more stuff, my plate's more empty
You're
than
like, I'm
it is.
able to. I
Yes.
understand that.
So yeah, so I'm just like experimenting to see how things go. I don't. I mean, gosh, now I want to see what are you keeping up on, Catherine? Because I know you're reading books. You're doing your book post too.
So here's the thing. Will I ever monetize on that? Probably not. But it is something that brings me joy and relief. Do I do a lot of updates often? No, because I've also tried to be in my fitness girly era this year, and I really am proud of myself because of that. But usually I am 100% through and through reading a book. Reading a book. I'm reading a book. I am watching theories about said books, about said theory, about said series. I am just a book girly. I always have been. I can't even tell you. I have been reading. I'm the type of girl like in high school that would be in my hallway at my house, 2 a.m. My mom comes out getting ready to go to her job. You're still up reading? Yes, I am up reading. Like, I am. I just love to read. I mostly do fantasy, but I also do historical fiction, crime. I love a good crime novel. But it's just something that takes me out of my reality because news sometimes is just so hard hitting and it's just sad and a little depressing sometimes.
Yeah.
I need to get out of that funk. I need to get out of that world and go to my fantasy land. And it just brings me so much joy. I can't even tell you how much joy it brings me to read. And that's what I do. That's what I'm keeping up with. What I'm also keeping up with, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not much of a like a TV series girly.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. But I am a Stranger Things fan. I
Okay.
just finished watching the first volume of the new season.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. I was like, it took me a second. I just watched it this weekend because I had time,
Yes.
but it had already been out for like a week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So good. And that's what I'm keeping up with. I love music.
Okay. Who's on the
Next year is a
playlist?
big travel year for me, so I'm trying to set a budget for that already. But I don't know, just being happy. I'm keeping up with what these little things that bring me joy. And ultimately, bigger picture, it just makes me happier all around.
Yes, absolutely. We're thinking about traveling too.
So next year, okay, so I have a lot of weddings I need to go to. So
Okay.
my cousin is getting married in Mexico. My family is from Oaxaca. So we are going there in February. And getting the time off was rough, but I got it off because that is Super Bowl. And Super Bowl is going to be
Yeah.
on our station. And Super Bowl is going to be in Santa Clara, which is in the Bay
Yes.
Area. So trust me,
Yes.
getting the time off
You are
during that
lucky to get
time
that off.
was really rough. I have to work the weekend before and the weekend after. So I have to work like 6-day weeks in order to get that weekend off. It's a whole thing. It's fine. It's worth
Yes.
it. So I'm going to my cousin's wedding in Oaxaca. And then in April, I'm going to my other cousin's wedding in Puerto Rico. He's actually getting married to my college housemate. I did introduce them. And then in September, I'm going to Japan for my niece's 16th birthday. She didn't want a birthday. She didn't want a quinceañera. So she was like, how about we all take a trip to Japan? So we're going to Japan.
Okay, okay. Look at you. Wow. So you are a producer extraordinaire and a matchmaker. So
I am. But nobody match makes me. Nobody is out here helping me. You. I have now passed that job to you.
well, oh gosh, we'll see. I mean, I'm
No,
doing my
but yes, I'm a great matchmaker. I can make it happen.
okay, okay. I love. Well, help me find love. I mean, I'm going to a speed dating in 2 weeks, which I'm
Are you
terrified.
really? And that's another thing. Oh my gosh, dating on this shift, so hard. I know that's probably like the last thing you were probably ever going to think of asking me, but dating on this shift is really hard because people don't understand. Yes, I'm about to go to sleep. It's 3 p.m. I'm sorry. No, I can't get dinner with you at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday, Bob. I'm asleep.
Well, maybe you have to go to the doctor's office or the hospital. Maybe that could be the match there, since they
You
have
know
weird
what I mean?
hours.
It's like I can't. And it's funny because come Friday, I'm off, right? I don't work at night. But come Friday, 6 p.m., Keith, the last thing I want to do is be outside on a first date on a Friday night that may or may not go great. I'd rather be at home in bed by 7 p.m. because I'm tired. And so it's just a matter of like finding someone who understands it, and no one does. It's fine.
Yes. Okay, okay. So I guess you will not become a Hallmark movie then. So, because that's very common.
It's like you end up because like where you work is your dating pool. A lot of people say that. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. I don't subscribe. Let me. What are you doing? Like let me.
I love Catherine. Cat. I love this. I love this.
A really funny tangent. I'm telling you.
Yes. No. No. Producers need love too. Okay. Journalism needs.
It's hard. It's hard out here.
Yes. Yes. Anything else you want to say?
Think so. I feel like I yapped enough.
Okay. Okay. And where can people find you if you allow them to?
Yeah, my stuff is public. I have nothing to hide. If people want to stalk me, go right ahead. If people want to judge me, please do. Give me something. I need, my life needs a little bit of spice sometimes. Go ahead and stalk me. I'm on Instagram. Maybe you could put my handle here.
Okay.
I also have a Bookstagram. That handle's also here. I'm just a yapper.
Okay.
Follow along.
What are the name of the handles? Let's name
Oh my
them.
gosh, hold on. I don't know what my handle is. I think my handle for Instagram is Catherine V underscore underscore underscore. And the Instagram for my Bookstagram is Kitty Cat Reads with a K.
Okay, okay, gotcha. I'll make sure I include that in the description when I post
Or
this.
no, it's fine. I'm just annoying.
No, 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 great. And if you're looking for something spicy, I don't know if you have HBO Max, but I would recommend Heated Rivalry. But
Heated rivalry?
yes, it's very steamy. I have to say that.
But
If
what
you
is it? Is it like a period series or
so
what is
it's
it?
based
Is
off
it
of
like
it's a romance novel between two hockey players.
two hockey players?
Yes, it's blowing
It's on
up.
HBO Max?
Yes, HBO Max.
That's what I'm keeping up with, Keith.
Okay,
That is what I'm keeping up with.
I'm gonna warn. It is I mean, it's very steamy. I'm just gonna warn you for that. But it's good.
Listen, it is
The
fine. It is fine. Listen, I'm not going to shame myself right now, but I am also a very heavy smut reader. There's no hate here. Okay? There's no hate here. I'm into the romantasy. I'm a fan of the smut. We're all adults.
yes, absolutely.
Some
No,
people love to play video games. I don't judge you. So don't judge me reading my fantasy novels.
yes, exactly, exactly. And it follows the book, and I guess the book was very graphic as well. Because I haven't read the series, but after watching the first two episodes, I'm like, oh gosh, I need to buy the book or see it on
Now
Audible.
I'm intrigued. You see, this is what this discourse is what I'm into. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So, Kat, thank you so much for joining the show today. It was a great conversation. And for everyone, you can follow me on all my platforms at Keeping Up with Keith. That's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, everyone, have a great day. And Kat, thank you so much.
Yes. Have a good day.